Hello, comic book guys and gals, and welcome to Comic Mag Musings. I'm your host, Bill Miller. Today we are doing another auction comic book unboxing video, and I know that we have some Savage Sword of Conans, but I can't remember too many of the other books, so I guess we'll find out together what other books we have. Here is the box. And let's go ahead and get it open. All right. Inside, got some. This is part of the packing material. Got a bunch of peanuts and some cardboard in between some of these books. So, I think we're ready to go. All right. First, we have Conan the Barbarian number 54. This is from the Don Rosa collection, CGC 9.4, white pages, Roy Thomas story, John Buscema and Tom Palmer art. This is from 1975. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that one. It's a little bit later than I collect from Conan. But it was a pretty good deal. And the same with this. This is Conan the Barbarian Annual number 3 from the Don Rosa collection. There's a King Cole appearance, Roy Thomas story, John Buscema and Pablo Marcos art, John Buscema and Ernie Chan cover. White pages, CGC 9.6. All right. And next, we have Destructor number 1 from Atlas Seaboard, 1975. This has off-white to white pages. It's the origin and first appearance of Destructor. Archie Goodwin story, Steve Ditko and Wally Wood art, Larry Lieber, who is Stan Lee's brother, and Wally Wood cover. This is the CGC 9.6. Now someone has purchased the Atlas catalog, presumably to use the source material for some type of media. What, I don't know. And if this is you, you need to finish. Got a run of Atlas Seaboard. This is Fright number 1 from 1975, off-white to white pages. Origin and first appearance of Son of Dracula. Gary Friedrich story, Frank Thorne cover and art. and this is the CGC 9.4. Very cool looking cover, I think. I have not read, I don't believe I've read any of the Atlas titles, with the exception of, I think there's like an Iron Jaw or something like that. That one I did read, maybe one, perhaps two issues of. Seemed like a sword and sorcery, a Conan type of, or warlord knockoff. This is Ghost Rider number 34 from 1979. The Origin and Death of Nathan Bean. This is from the Don Rosa Pedigree collection. White pages, Roger Mackenzie's story, Don Perlin cover and art. This is a CGC 9.4. Certainly collect Ghost Rider, and I do have this issue, also in a 9.4. But since this is pedigreed, I'll probably just swap them out. And here we have Ghost Rider number 35, April of 1979, white pages, Jim Starlin's story, Jim Starlin and Steve Leola art. This is also from the Don Rosa Pedigree, and it's a CGC 9.4. Very cool cover. Again, same situation. I have this one also in a 9.4, but it is not pedigreed, so I'll probably just swap them out. Next we have Ghost Rider number 40, January of 1980. This is the first appearance of death of Nuclear Man. I'm sorry, the first appearance and death of Nuclear Man. And it has the somewhat famous or infamous atomic bomb cover. This is also from the Don Rosa Pedigree. It has white pages, Michael Fleischer's story, Don Perlin art, and Bud Budiansky cover. This is the CGC 9.6. And here we have Grim Ghost number 1 from Atlas Seaboard, January of 1975. It's the origin of the Grim Ghost. Off-white to white pages, Ernie Colon cover and art. This is a CGC 9.6. Okay. Next we have Morlock 2001 number 1 from Atlas Seaboard. Off-white to white pages. This is the origin and first appearance of Morlock. Michael Fleischer's story, Al Milgrom and Jack Abel art, Al Milgrom and Dick Giordano cover. and this is CGC 9.6. And I got these Atlas comics for what I thought was a pretty good price, so it just made sense. Maybe nothing happens, and that's fine. I still have some pretty good looking issues with some pretty cool creators attached to it. And this is Wolf the Barbarian number 4 from Atlas Seaboard, September of 1975. Off-white to white pages, Mike Friedrich story, and Jim Craig art. This is the CGC 9.4. And here we have X Factor number 15 from 1987. It's the first appearance of the Horsemen of Apocalypse. Rusty, Skids, Boom Boom, Artie, Leech, Caliban, Erg, and Mask appearance. It's a Louise Simonson story. Walt Simonson and Bob Wyachik, Wyachik art, and Walt Simonson cover. White pages, CGC 9.6. And this is X-Men Omega number 1 from 1995. It's the chromium wraparound cover by John Romita Jr. and Klaus Janson. It's the conclusion to the Age of Apocalypse story. Scott Lobdell and Mark Waid story, Roger Cruz, Tim Townsend, Sal LaRosa, Carl Kessel, Scott Hanna, and Al Milgram art. This has white pages and is CGC 9.8. Pretty cool looking cover. Definitely different. And definitely a 90s issue. And here's the back of the wraparound. These I'm very excited about. So this one is Savage Sword of Conan number 20, 1977. It's a Conan story adapted from The Slithering Shadow by Robert E. Howard. And there's a Solomon Kane poem. It's a Roy Thomas story, Earl Norem cover, John Buscema and Alfred Alcala art. It's a CGC 9.4. And we have the Savage Sword of Conan number 25, just from December 77, off-white to white pages. Brian Moore cover, Solomon Kane backup story, Ed Davis frontispiece, and Robert Howard adaptation. Roy Thomas and Don Glutt stories, Dick Giordano, Steve Gann, and Dino Castrillo art. This is a CGC 9.2. Here we have the Savage Sword of Conan number 26 from January of 78. This is a David Wenzel frontispiece, Robert E. Howard adaptation, Solomon Kane backup story. Roy Thomas story, Jim Starlin cover, John Buscema and Tony DeZuniga art. This has off-white to white pages, and there's a grader's note that says David Wenzel, written on 24th page in marker. I will strongly assume that that's his autograph. It's not qualified because it's not on the cover, but I would highly suspect that was signed by him at some convention or something like that. This is a CGC 9.2. And I imagine page 24 is where his frontispiece drawing is at. And that's what that is. That's a guest artist who does a drawing of Conan or someone within the Conan mythology, and they included it in the magazine. These are magazine sized, so they could have a little bit more adult-oriented content because they didn't have to adhere to the Comics Code Authority. And this is the Savage Sword of Conan number 40, May of 1979. Anton Caravana frontispiece, Roy Thomas story, John Buscema cover, John Buscema, Tony DeZuniga art. This has white pages and it is a CGC 9.2. On the back is a coupon that you can cut out for LaSalle Extension University. I imagine was some sort of correspondence school. That's my guess at least. This one is the Savage Sword of Conan number 49 from February of 1980. Tony DeZuniga frontispiece, Roy Thomas story, Nestor Redondo cover, John Buscema and Tony DeZuniga art. This has off-white to white pages, and it is a CGC 9.4. last book in the box, we have The Savage Sword of Conan #5 from April of '75. Robert E. Howard adaptation, Jeffrey Jones frontispiece, Robert Klein portfolio. Roy Thomas and John Buscema art. Roy Thomas story, John Buscema art, and Boris Vallejo cover. This has white pages, and it is a CGC 9.2. This is one of my favorite covers. Pretty awesome, and a really good story too. I've read all but maybe 2 of the Dark Horse Savage Sword of Conan trade paperback reprints. I think there's like 26 volumes, of which number 16, for some reason, is extremely scarce and very expensive. I don't know why I've been able to get any data on that, but it's tough to find, and when you do find it, it's extremely expensive. So, with that is it. So I hope you enjoyed looking at them. I enjoyed seeing some of them that I've forgotten about. Please stay tuned for the future, where I will have more unboxing videos as those opportunities present themselves. If you haven't seen my other videos, I encourage you to do so. Please subscribe. That way you'll be notified of new content as soon as I schedule it. And if you haven't been able to do so, please leave comments. They're highly encouraged. And if you want to start a discussion, please list the topic and let's get going. But until next time, always remember, we're taking over the world one comic book at a time.